Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about the evidence for evolution, which supports the theory that all living organisms have evolved from common ancestors over a long period of time. So, what is evolution? Evolution is the gradual change in species over time through a process called natural selection. There is variation among species, and only those who can adapt to their environment can survive and reproduce. If we can trace back to billions of years ago, all living things should evolve from a common ancestors, and there are several evidence to support that. One major source of evidence is the fossil record. Fossils are the preserved remains of organisms, found mainly in the sedimentary rocks. The fossil record can show a clear chronological order, with older fossils found in deeper rock layers, and more recent fossils found closer to the surface. The fossil demonstrates that simpler organisms exist earlier in Earth history, while more complex organisms evolved later. Although the fossil record is incomplete due to many reasons, it can still provide strong evidence for gradual evolutionary change. Some fossils are known as transitional fossils. These show features of both ancestral species and modern species. Transitional fossils provide evidence that evolution occurred through small, gradual changes over time rather than sudden changes. Another strong piece of evidence comes from the antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Because of mutations in bacterial DNA, they can create resistance to antibiotics. When antibiotics are used, they create a selection pressure, killing non-resistant bacteria, while resistant bacteria survive and reproduce. Over time, the frequency of resistant alleles increases, showing evolution by natural selection happening in real time. Evidence for evolution also comes from comparative anatomy. Many species share similar body structures called homologous structures. For example, the limb bones of mammals have the same basic structure but different functions. It suggests this species evolved from a common ancestor, an example of divergent evolution. Modern evidence for evolution comes from DNA and molecular biology. All living organisms contain DNA, and species that are more closely related have more similar DNA-based sequence. The greater the similarity in DNA-based sequence, the more recently the species share a common ancestor. This provides a very strong evidence for evolutionary relationships. Classification systems also support evolution. Scientists classify organisms based on their evolutionary relationships using both physical characteristics and genetic evidence. As new DNA evidence is discovered, classification systems are updated to better reflect how species evolved. Finally, extinction provides further evidence for evolution. Many species that once lived on Earth are now extinct due to environmental changes, competition, or new predators. Extinction allows new species to evolve and fill available ecological niches. In conclusion, evolution is supported by many different evidence, including from the fossil record, transitional fossils, antibiotic-resistant bacteria, comparative anatomy, DNA evidence, classification, and extinction. Together, these provide strong scientific support for the theory of evolution. That's the end of today's video. Thanks for watching.